Hello everyone, welcome to a Minecraft preview video this time. Usually I do snapshot videos, but this snapshot I'm afraid is not currently out on Java yet, so I popped over to Bedrock. It took a little bit of finagling, but I finally got it figured out. And yeah, we're here to bring you some new fun stuff today. Now, I actually wasn't expecting this drop today. I mean, they've been moving really quick after each update cycle, so I'm very pleased to have something to talk about already, and we have quite a few things to talk about. So let's get into the basics of it. So obviously, the new features we'll talk about today will be in the new fall drop, no official name currently, and it'll be coming out in the fall. We don't know a ton about specifically what this update's gonna do. I kind of like to bunch the previous two drops into different areas. The spring to life drop, I consider... Oh, I guess I got a big box. The spring to life drop, I consider more so a nature update to add more environmental stuff. And then the chase the skies update is what I consider more of a mount update with the lead changes and of course the happy ghast. We don't exactly know what this drop's theme is gonna be, but it seems like it could be relating to inventory management. And with that, let's get into our first new feature, which actually has nothing to do with inventory management at all. Our first new feature that we're gonna be talking about today is the brand new copper tools. Your basic 5 tools all have copper variants, so that means you have a sword, a pickaxe, an axe, a shovel, and a hoe. And this is what they all look like. They look like the iron ones basically, but orange because copper. They can do everything normal tools can, obviously. I did want to note the copper tools are better than stone, but they are worse than iron. And this is in any way you can imagine. They do less damage overall. They don't mine things quite as fast as iron stuff, and the durability is not quite as good, but they are still all better than stone. So this kind of nestles them right in between iron and stone tier-wise, which makes sense. It's definitely not as easy to get as stone tools, but definitely easier than iron. There's a ton of copper in this world. Not only can you make copper tools, you can make copper armor as well. Here's how it looks. Honestly, I gotta level with you guys. I don't really like how it looks. It's iron, but orange. And I think it works for the tools because the tools are pretty simple. The armor just doesn't look that good. It looks a lot like the old armor, and I don't know if I really like that, I'm afraid. But anyway, just like with the copper tools, this armor is slightly worse than iron. You can see it gives us 5 protection bars there. Iron gives 7.5. So the copper is definitely worse than iron, but still better than leather. Leather only gives 4.5 bars, and I mean copper is way easier to get than leather. So overall, I think copper does fit nicely in between stone and iron. And yeah, that's pretty much it here. And for those who don't know, each armor and tool type in Minecraft has a stat called enchantability that basically affects how good of enchants or how lucky you are to get good enchants on that specific type of tool or armor. And copper's enchantability stat is a little better than diamond, but a little worse than iron. So unfortunately, iron kind of beats copper at everything, but that's okay. I still like it, kind of. The only other thing that I would like to add to this section is another small new item they have added to Minecraft, and that is the copper nugget, which really doesn't have that many uses right now. It's just if you smelt anything like iron or gold, it would always give you a nugget. So copper, it's gone. Oh, it's right here. So copper also has that functionality now. I don't believe there are any main uses for this besides just being smeltable, but yeah, you can also craft it with copper ingots if you want. I imagine we'll probably get some functionality for these later on in the drop. And now on to the next and the biggest feature of the new preview, in my opinion. We have the copper golem. So first of all, it has a new spawn egg which looks like this. Once you guys see what it looks like, you'll be able to fully see why the spawn egg's like that. I mean, it's a pretty good spawn egg. If I had to put it on my tier list, probably be A tier, I'd say. If you guys remember from back whenever I ranked the new spawn egg textures way back when. Anyway, it's really easy to spawn a copper golem. All you need is 1 copper block of any variety, any of the normal block variety. I'm afraid your cut and chiseled variants will not spawn copper golems, so make sure you do not use those types. But basic copper, any oxidization level will do. So if you just place a pumpkin here, bam, 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 bam. And they are pretty glowy because of vibrant visuals, but oh my god, they're so cute. Look at the sounds. That's loud. Hear the nice little goobers. They do make a ton of noise. Oh my god, we can't stay here for a while. But as you guys can probably tell, if you can hear over the damn golems, we get both the golems and the chest, which is nice. Now they are obviously only 1 block tall. They're doing little dances. Okay, sorry. Let me take you guys somewhere else, and then we'll see what they actually do functionally. Okay, so functionally, we only really need 1 of these guys. So we're gonna. This is my friend Jimbo. He's gonna be helping me with the little presentation today. So these guys are really good inventory management, which is something I never thought we'd actually get in Minecraft, to be fair. But if we place an item into this chest, let's put in a sandstone wall. Our copper golem buddy, whenever he goes to look back into the chest, will take it out and hold onto it for us. As you can see, he has it there, and then he will look around for a chest. And if he sees a chest within a certain range, he will go ahead and put the item into that chest as such. Oh, it's so cool. And that's pretty much it. It's really simple, but such a cool little thing, and it's so cool to see the animation and such. Now, there are a few details I want to add because it's not as simple as that. He does have a bit more refinement. So, for instance, we'll take this weathered copper block we have. If I were to place this in this chest, and then go ahead and place the sandstone wall into this chest, he would go and grab it as usual. He would grab it, and then he'd go and try to put it into this chest, but he'll be unable to, because there's an item in there already. The copper golem will only sort items into chests where that item is already present. However, if we place an empty chest, the copper golem will put anything into this chest. That being said, he put the sandstone wall into the chest, so if we were to put, let's say, the oxidized copper block, he would take it, so please take the block. He would take it, and he would go check the chests again, but he still would not find a spot for it, because even though this chest was empty, now that it has sandstone walls in it, well, he can't put the oxidized copper in, can he? Here you go, buddy. You can put it right there. Oh, looks like he's got to check the chests again. This is actually good behavior, I should note. So if he cannot find a chest to put something in, he will just kind of idle with the block in his hand, and then after 7 or so seconds, he will go ahead and check the chests again, sequentially. So he'll start with this one, and then he'll check this one, and then he'll check this one. And if he can ever find a chest to put a block in, then he'll just be idle forever. So that is a little something that I'm not too pleased about. I think maybe it'd be cool if we could put it back on the chest if it fails a certain amount of times, just to make sure if a random item gets into our systems here, it's not going to completely break. But it's not that big of a deal. If we were to go ahead and place all 3 of these blocks in, you will see that he'll go and take 1 at a time, and he can only take 16 of a block. So he can't carry full stacks, and then he'll go and he'll sort them into the chest they're supposed to go in. And then once he finds it, he'll go ahead and pop the entire 16 in and then go back for round 2. And so yeah, they just function as basically an automatic sorter, which is something really interesting. Also, just to be thorough, when it comes to items such as snowballs, which only have stacks of 16, he'll just take the entire stack. You can carry up to 16 items at one time, and only 1 item at a time. So if you were to scatter, I don't know, if you were to scatter 5 chests, 8 pumpkins, and 3 cut copper, I mean, you don't have to take 1 at a time. As for how many chests they can look through up to 10 chests sequentially. And those chests have to be within 32 blocks horizontally of the chest, and 8 blocks vertically. Another important thing to note, usually players will place chests vertically like this because we have a much higher reach than this guy does, but he can only reach 1 block above him. So for instance, these top 3 chests, he would not be able to access, and so they don't really do anything. But he would be able to access this block, for instance, to put stuff in. It also appears that even if we have a chest full of wax weather copper over here, if he finds an empty chest, or I guess another chest with wax weather copper in it, before that chest, he'll go ahead and put it in there. Another obvious thing that I'm not realizing I've forgotten to show is that, of course, he can go ahead and put multiple items into 1 chest. So once he goes and grabs the copper from the chest behind me, he'll put it in here with the wax weather copper. A few more notable things. First of all, they will not interact with barrels, ender chests, hoppers, or anything that is not a normal or copper chest, I believe. So unfortunately, you cannot be using those in your guys' designs. Also, another important thing to note, there are some weird things that happen with renamed items. I don't know how these guys decide to put stuff in chests, but it seems like they'll put stuff with the same name in. So for instance, if I had a chest with ender pearls in it, and I had an ender pearl called 2 and I put that in there, he would take it out, but he won't put it into this chest with the other ender pearls because it's renamed. So also be careful of having these renamed items get into these guys' inventories without anywhere to actually go. And the last thing I have to go over with these guys is their drops. So please forgive me, little buddy. Look away. I'm sorry. They can drop between 1 to 3 copper ingots upon death. So keep that in mind if you want to make a farm of these guys. I don't know if you can. That's kind of cruel, but you know, some of you are weird out there, so... And the last thing that I'd like to go over is that you can craft the copper chests without the copper block of the pumpkin if you just surround a basic chest with 8 copper ingots. And I don't believe this chest functions any differently than a normal wooden chest, besides the fact that it is like an input for the copper golem system. And it has some cool sounds. I really like the sound design in this update. The copper golem sounds so good, and I know my friends will be very excited to get that on the Realm SMP, specifically Ferris and Sherbert. They have a bit of a copper ban going on, so unfortunately I don't know how much I'll be using this. But with that, I think that's about everything in this little preview. Honestly, was not expected to come out today, and it has a lot of really cool stuff that's gotten me really excited to see what they're going to bring out with this update. If we can get some important inventory stuff related updates, I think it'll be really nice, and immediately, these copper golems look great. Lots of stuff I see doing with them in the future, if I can get my permit. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye!